Welcome to Above the Garage. Hi, friends. Welcome to our discussion of episode 7 of Pluribus. Let's do our round of introductions and dive in.
Hi, I'm Aubrey.
Hi, I'm Tina.
And I'm Kate. It's a skeleton crew today, just the three of us. All right, so this episode is entitled The Gap, which had me very excited for an upcoming journey through the Americas. Alas, there was a lot of Carol in the episode first, which I was incredibly impatient with, since I've been looking forward to his travels all week. Did you guys feel impatient, or was it just me?
A little bit. The change in tone with how she's acting.
Yeah, the whole time I was like, what stage of grief is she in? Because it really felt like she was, as the episode progresses, when we go back to her, it really feels like she was
Right.
going through that. Yeah.
For sure, yeah. But yeah, I agree with you, because I was, based on the title of the episode and based on where we left off last time, you're going to eventually see him on his journey, and so you're kind of just waiting for that.
I don't know if it's everyone or if I'm just in love with this character randomly, but I love him. Yeah, so we open with Carol driving back to Albuquerque from her quick trip to Vegas, stopping for gas at a largely cleaned out gas station. She makes a couple calls to turn the pump back on and to demand an ice-cold Gatorade, which disappoints her in her tepidness once the drone drops it off. And while she waits, she goes shopping for fireworks. My main note from the scene is that I'm also really, really over this voice machine prompt. There's no way she wouldn't have told him to change this prompt by now.
Ask him to shorten it.
Right, exactly.
You can leave a message and say, I get it. Can you just get straight to the beep?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
No message necessary.
Yeah.
Your message has been received. You need space. I fully acknowledge this. Now, please, just make it beep.
I do love the word tepid, I have to say that.
Tepid is a great word.
It's one of those words that sounds like what it is almost. Like it sounds gross.
Yeah. It's like in the same club as moist, maybe.
Oh, it might be, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Did you think with her request, because it was so specific, it was like ice cold, full sugar, whatever the request was, that she was trying to get them to actually come to her? Because, I mean, we see later that clearly, like, the loneliness is getting to her. Like, I don't know. I just kind of thought she was trying to goad them into coming to her, maybe.
Yeah, I think she's also just being intentionally as bitchy as possible.
Yeah.
That too, yeah. It was just so, like, oddly specific.
To be fair, that's exactly how I like to drink my Gatorade. So I was also on board with her there. But I was wondering, I was like, there's no way they can do that. They're not going to have Gatorade at an extreme cold temperature anywhere nearby. Is she going to wait there forever?
Is there a thing like a microwave that makes things cold? Because I know John and I talked about how that should be a thing, but is it a thing?
Sure there is.
I think that does exist, Aubrey. I think I've seen it in, like, liquor stores where you put your drink in there and it super cools it.
Okay. I did also like later when we realized that we're seeing Carol for the first half and then Manousos later, that at least for the beginning of this, they're both on journeys because she's on the journey back home for the first few minutes and then he's on his journey. And the way they're behaving is so incredibly opposite because she's just like demanding everything and he's refusing everything.
She's like a spoiled brat. Yeah. She's not even saying please or thank you anymore. She's being really rude about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, in a way, it would have been interesting if they had cut back and forth between them. Like, I understand why they did it in 2 segments, but they could have intercut them so that you could see the comparison.
Yeah, I don't know. She's even giving them negative feedback and apparently planning to waste a lot of her future time setting off fireworks. It was also sad when she won the $10,000 on the scratch-off ticket, knowing that means nothing now, but how exciting it would have been.
That was so funny how she had her little mini celebration. Yeah.
Yeah, and then left it on the counter.
I did have one question. How do they differentiate between Carol calling and anyone else calling? Because when she's in Las Vegas and dials the 0, it could have been Kumba, but the message comes on for her.
That's a really good question.
So I'm just wondering if they're telling all of the 12 or 13 to dial 0 to reach them.
I feel like they just have different numbers because they're not going to make them sit through that annoying message.
And it's specific to Carol, right? So, like, anybody else calls, they're going to answer because they're not icing them out like they are with Carol.
Yeah.
Once she's back in Albuquerque, she gets right to the fireworks and beer and howling with the coyotes while she looks upon a fully lit city, all for her. Next day, golf's on the agenda, alongside a bunny and a bison who she only briefly pauses for. I'd have given that bison a wider berth, I think. Where are all the animals?
Yeah, there should be a lot more.
All the dogs and cats that they let free.
Well, and like giraffes and all sorts of stuff from the zoo. Like,
right.
Yeah, where are all the animals?
I'm worried for the pets. What are they eating? And I would like to see much more of them. Unless the coyotes just ate all of the small animals, in which case, fuck the hive. Why did they set the pets free? They could have just continued taking care of them.
Yeah, that seems counterintuitive to their, what is it they call it? Their biological imperative or whatever.
Yes, their biological imperative.
Not harm anything, because releasing an animal that is domesticated, like a dog or a
Right.
cat,
Dependent on a human to
a human
survive.
being, or even like releasing an animal that is not necessarily native to Albuquerque. So, like, if they release a tiger from the Albuquerque Zoo, if they have a zoo, I'm just assuming they do,
I'm sure
it's
they
not
do.
native to that area.
Yeah.
I mean, a tiger would probably survive, but I'm sure there are other prey animals that would not. So,
Right.
yeah, I agree.
There's a branch of, I guess, veganism that doesn't believe you should have pets. And I'm wondering if it's some kind of a commentary on that, but I'm not informed enough about what their stance is
Right.
on that or why. But it's just something about that captivity. But then you think, like, well, they're enslaving every human being. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
is it really any different? You know, I mean, it is different because animals are dependent on us. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that does seem strange. It's a strange way to think.
Kimberly mentioned it would have been nice if Manusos had like a dog with him on his journey. And I
Hmm.
agree. That would have been perfect
Yeah.
touch.
That would have been
Actually, when
good.
he was walking on the street, which we'll get to later, doing the English learning,
Yeah.
talking about cats and dogs, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he needs to run into one right now, like a cat.
Yeah.
And then say it like correctly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Upon return to her beloved police car, Carol finds it has moved on from this world. Rather than ask the hive to get it going again, she takes a look at the mini car lot she's got right next to her. Some nice cars to choose from that were being valeted when the world ended. But of course, she's drawn to the weirdest. The Rolls Royce with the just married graffiti and love balloons adorning it. Ray is an excellent singer. I'd be so embarrassed having a camera following me around singing everywhere, but she
Yeah.
crushes all of these songs.
It was funny as I was watching this episode and she got back into the squad car.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I really love her commitment at this point to the squad
Yes.
car, like not switching. And then right as I was thinking that, it stopped. And I was like,
Right.
there it is. Yeah, like
But she still has awesome sports car choices and goes to the weirdest car she can find.
But
yeah.
also seems like her because it's a very sleek, modern looking car, which is kind of what she had before, I think.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is definitely the weirdest.
It's a great car.
Yeah.
It's a Rolls Royce.
Perfect
No
choice.
faulting a Rolls Royce, but yeah, the balloons and the just married is still on it
Right.
48 days
Yeah.
later in the end. Doesn't even scrub it off.
Another good parallel with Manusos because he's like putting money on the windshield
Oh, I
for the gas
That was
know.
and
so
Yeah.
sweet.
and
I
yet
love
she's just taking a car. No fucks given at this point from Carol.
No. She swipes a Georgia O'Keeffe from the museum for her living room. She's trying to be a bit more like Kumba. Not quite fully like him, but she's trying. The painting she chose was Belladonna, a flower that's known for its beauty and deadliness.
Just talking about her singing through these scenes. It's kind of amazing how they're all thematically appropriate to what she's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Georgia on my mind? Is that what she was singing?
Yeah.
In the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum. Yeah.
Right. And then earlier in the ride, she's singing It's the End of the World as we know it. And it
Mhm.
cuts out when she's supposed to say, I feel fine, because it does not feel fine.
And then in the hot springs is when she's doing
Hot
hot in
Hot in
here.
here. Yeah.
I did like her taking the art from the museum because what makes us human is art, I think, and just that art hanging in that museum being wasted. So that to me felt like her, in a way, reclaiming her humanity a little bit because I'm going to take
Right.
this art and I'm going to put it in my home where it is, I'm still going to be able to appreciate it as a human. I really like the thought of her doing that.
Yeah, that's a really nice way to look at it.
After hanging the O'Keeffe, she decides she's dining out tonight. And we are not talking Applebee's. She's gotten all gussied up and requested all of her favorite meals from her past with Helen. That risotto looked so good. I would, without a doubt, be kumbaying myself a private chef in this world. I don't care.
That's like the last thing you want to worry about right now is trying to feed yourself.
And they're really good at it, apparently.
I had a question for you guys about that too. So like she very clearly, like when she lifted up those plates, she was like Martha's Vineyard 1999 and Helen's birthday 2008. Do you remember meals that way? Like,
Yeah.
I know meals I like, obviously dishes I would request, but I would not be like, I want the dish I had for my birthday in 2014. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I wrote the same note down. Yeah,
yeah.
same.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. Because I even have food-based memory a lot of the time. Like, I'll
Yeah.
remember a trip based on the meals I had, but I don't
Yes.
remember the date or the year or what I had for anyone's birthday ever.
Yeah, it sounds like they celebrate in style, though, all of their holidays, whereas you might find me in an Outback instead on my birthday, you know? They
Yeah.
were at these fancy restaurants and Martha's Vineyard and all of these notable places. However, I still don't remember. I can't even think of a meal right now on the spot from my past that I would ask for. Oh, there was a place in South Africa that was really good, but I can't remember the name of it.
I'm like you, Aubrey. I think of it in terms of like trips. Like, oh, I really liked the meal I had or the snack I had when I was at Disney World this one time, which is, crazy thing to think about. But bring me that. I want the Ronto wrap from Disney World.
So you do remember specific.
It's the name of the dish, but like I've had it multiple times. I know I like this meal or this restaurant or this dish at this restaurant, but I could not remember a specific
Date and
time.
Is that it?
Yes.
Is that the difference?
Yeah, that's the difference. Yeah.
I think my thing is I might remember the restaurant. Like I remember when we were all in Toronto and we went to that dinner.
Yeah.
That was really good.
That was really good. Yeah.
Guys, I have news. You're supposed to say Toronto. There's no T.
Yeah.
That is all. Carry on.
Okay.
I've gotten a lot of shit for this, and I'm going to fix it going forward.
Toronto.
There you go.
Yeah.
Toronto. Gonna say it a few times, like work on that.
I still say it wrong, and I've been trying.
But yeah, when we were all in Toronto, we had a really good vegan dinner that was they just kept bringing food out, different courses.
Yes,
that was really delicious. However, do I remember any of the specific things we ate? No. I just remember that doing that was good.
Right,
was really
exactly.
good, yeah.
That I can remember. Good experiences, but not the specific meals,
Yeah.
sadly.
Yeah.
But I still would get a private chef because of all the service staff in the world, if I had enough money, I would want someone to cook for me.
Yeah, and I'm realizing actually the thing I would probably do is bring back closed restaurants that I loved that don't exist anymore.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Like ask them to bring back a Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Just like pick cool stores that you wish still existed. I want the Circuit City back.
I worked at Circuit City.
Also, her dress is beautiful.
Yeah, and she is gorgeous. The dress is gorgeous. What is the song they played on the piano?
John said, "Maybe I Will Survive."
I Will Survive. That's probably,
You think that is it?
I think it was
Which makes sense, because another thematic, like...
Yes, good call, John. Thank you. And then finally, we go to South America. Manusos is toting his trusty gas can, practicing his English adorably when he hears a truck approaching and unlocks his machete, just in case. The hive driver is, as usual, perfectly kind and reasonable in his attempt at persuading Manusos to accept a ride or at least some water. Accepting that he's not going to give in, they try to educate him on hydration, tell him to wave at the sky if he needs anything, and then leave him in peace to practice his pets and colors in English while he siphons gas from an old truck. And then he leaves money on the windshield for the gas, which we already mentioned, but this is just too adorable. I love him so much.
So
Love
sweet.
it. Like by the time we got to the end with him, I was like, if anything happens to this man,
Yeah.
I know.
I will die for him.
I will exactly. Yeah.
I remember actually a moment of fear that he might die, which obviously he's not going to die, but I was just like, I will not, I can't. He can't die.
There's that. Have you guys seen that meme of? I think it's from that show Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where she's holding the puppy, and she's like, "I just got this puppy today, and if anything happened to him, I will kill myself and everybody in the room." Like,
Yeah.
I felt like her holding the puppy. It was like, if anything happens to him, everybody in the room, and we're all going.
Yeah, no, I would protect this guy with my life. I love him.
Yeah.
I love their obsession with hydration, too, just going back to that. Like,
That whole interaction with the guy in the truck, it did remind me a lot of when Zoja first came to see Carol,
yes.
mentioning the hydration, because she was basically having the same conversation. She was like, please drink water. You're going to give you a stroke.
Right.
I was watching this. Dave isn't quite caught up, but he was in the room while I was watching this episode this morning, and he's like, why are they so intent on their survival, on these people's survival? Like, it'd be better for them if Carol and Manusos died, but they're hell-bent on protecting them.
It's a really good
the
point.
whole protecting life thing. I mean, they're not eating plants, so they have to watch out for these people.
Right, yeah, and Dave doesn't know that part yet, because he's fallen behind.
Gotcha.
I also thought it was very cute when he couldn't remember if it's yellow dog or dog yellow, because in Spanish it's dog yellow, you know?
Yeah.
And he looked so disappointed in himself, but then he just pops the cassette back in and gets back to work.
I have an aside about siphoning gas, which you can delete because this is useless, but I was looking up siphoning gas, and it's like extremely dangerous to get even like a little bit of it in your mouth. So you're not supposed to. Yeah, like in movies, they always do that dramatic thing where they spit it out. But that's like so freaking dangerous. Like, you could die from that. You could die from that amount. Yeah. So you're supposed to that's why the tubes that you use are clear, because you're supposed to watch it as it's coming up. And when it gets close, stop before it gets to your mouth, because if you get any in your mouth, it can be bad. And if you inhale while you're doing it, you can die from that too. So there's like all these things about like how much more dangerous siphoning is than they really think, or than they really act like it is. But there were like dissenters on like Reddit and stuff that were like, oh, I siphon gas. But like generally
on Reddit. You don't say.
shock and surprise. But yeah, so there's like other methods that are safer. There's like one where you can stick 2 tubes in and blow into one tube, and it pushes it out the other tube.
Huh.
And that's supposed to be a much
I'm
safer
trying
way
to
to do
picture
it.
how that works.
So you stick two in. And
They're not connected.
yeah, they're not connected. And one of them goes in and one of them goes out. And so the air blows it through the other
That's
tube.
really smart. This is a
Oh.
very useful PSA, Aubrey.
Done a lot of research,
Actually
a lot of useless knowledge that I have acquired over the years. You can keep this if you want. I don't care. I just thought it was like maybe useless.
You might save somebody's life tonight. I'm going to keep it.
Somebody's going to post in the comments like, well, actually, I just siphoned gas today and I'm fine.
And I got it all in my mouth, so she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Also, a lot of newer cars you can't even do it with, but obviously in his, it's not relevant because he's doing it in like a really old truck.
Yeah. The drive through the mountains, the Rocky Mountains, are beautiful. And then he enters a town where everyone is greeting him by name creepily. I mean, they must know that's going to piss him off. Come on.
I was thinking that. I was like, how do you guys think that is the best way to greet people? Because it's not. It's like if I roll into a town that everybody knows my name and is greeting me, I'm getting the fuck out immediately. Yeah. Like,
to be fair, Kumbe would love that shit, but most of humanity, and especially this guy and me and you, would hate
so
that.
Unsettling.
Yeah.
It's so unsettling. Yeah.
I think maybe it would wear me down over time because I would just be like, oh man, maybe they are actually nice and it's fine. But I just, the number of days it would take for me to give up before I would reach that point, I'd be very creeped out.
I actually have a number of days question for you. It was during the Carol part, but Aubrey, how long do you think it would take living in this world before you abandon clothing?
Well, I wouldn't be wearing pants this whole time.
Agree.
All right, there you go. Day
like
one.
that would have stopped. Yeah, day 2, 3, maybe. No, realistically, probably like a weekend. I would stop wearing pants, like for good. Pants just would not exist for me anymore. Tops, probably.
Just Pooh Bear it the whole time.
Yeah. Underwear, long shirts.
Yeah.
No, I'd probably be wearing like bathing suits, maybe.
I am a person that loves clothing. I have friends that, like, you know, when they're home, they're like naked, and it just blows my mind because it was the total opposite of how I feel. But I love that for them. And it's interesting to think about what you would do in this world where basically nobody is real and, you know. So I appreciate the day one pantslessness.
It's a good question.
Sorry. Back to Manusso's.
You were talking about how gorgeous the scenery was on his drive, and like it also just felt really peaceful for some reason. Like that entire segment of the journey when he's just doing the Spanish translation, the Spanish to English, and the scenery and the music and watching the cuts to the map with the red line on it. It was just very...
I love the cuts to the map. I was able to follow on like Google to see how long he's been driving. He's in Peru. It's been like 62 hours of driving on top of walking and cycling and sleeping. And it's...
Yeah, it was a nice orienting for sure.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know, do we know what town he started with? I just picked the capital, Asuncion.
I did too, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I love that we're all following along on maps like we're watching a documentary.
But it's so interesting.
It's so
I don't
interesting,
know how far it is across South America, and now I do, and I love that.
Me too.
That he took. He went to the coast. Like, it makes so much sense. It is amazing that his car is still running, though, after its inauspicious start at the beginning of this journey. Alas, not for long. He's also collecting rainwater to drink and fishing for his food, keeping up with his hygiene and shaving.
And learning English the whole time.
Yeah, and he's thinking forward, right? When I get there, I don't want to ask them to translate. I'm not going to use their help. I need to learn English on my way there. I love this guy.
And making good progress on learning. Like, I like that you could tell he was getting better at it as he got deeper into his journey.
Yeah, that was great. Love these scenes. By the time he makes it to the Darien Gap, he's been driving for 90-ish hours at a minimum. He's surveying the end of the road when the hive emerges from the jungle and begs him this time not to go on. Lots of very good reasons for it that I would accept happily, but this man is the stuff of legends, and instead of accepting their offer of a ride straight to Carol Sturka in New Mexico by nightfall, with his car, he sets fire to it to show them how very much he refuses anything from them. That was so badass.
That was incredible.
And his reasoning, too. Nothing on this planet belongs to you. You cannot give me anything because everything you have is stolen.
Yes.
Mic drop, Manussos.
Yeah. I mean, he's only spoken like those 3 sentences and then the one about his mom, right? To the hive.
Yeah. And I liked was the fact that he clearly was very attached to the car because he went and like put his hand on it, like, thank you for your service. Aww. And then as soon as they showed up, he was like, nope, you're not getting my car, and like doused it.
That made it so much better. You could tell. And they knew it was very important to him from various other people for however. And he's like, no, this is how much I fucking hate you. Fuck you.
Yeah, like you said, Kate, all the stuff they were listing, as soon as they said, what was it, 38 degrees with 98 humidity, which is like 100 degrees.
100
Yeah,
degrees.
yeah.
With I would have been like, you know what? Because I'm not a heat person. I would have been like, you know what? That's a very convincing argument.
Well, see, I haven't been wearing pants, so I'm fine. I'm
Oh,
not
you're
that
good. You're
overheated.
good.
You're very sunburnt, or you will be
Yeah.
soon.
But yeah, just to hear that laundry list of all of the things they said could go wrong and to still
Mm.
have the willpower to do that and to turn them down.
Yeah.
He's a very stubborn and strong-willed individual. Yes, and I love him very much.
The stubbornness is beyond stupid, but it's just so admirable to
Yeah.
me how he's absolutely refused any ounce of their help along the way.
And he and Carol are going to get along famously. Like I think like they're essentially the same person.
Except I actually thought it's strange that she re-accepts the hive right before he gets
Yeah.
there. It'd be better if he came in the middle and then they could together.
He's gonna show up expecting her to be just like him, and
But still not like him because she demanded things.
I'm not quite the same, but they're still very similar, I think,
Yeah,
in that
absolutely.
they agree what is going on is bad and not, they want to help bring humanity back. They're not just,
Right.
well, we have to see with Carol. Although I do think if he were to show up and be like, I have a way to reverse this, Carol would be like, okay, let's
Yeah,
do
he'll
it.
reinvigorate her.
Exactly.
Because honestly, it's been, what, 36 days of her not trying to save
Yeah.
the world? And that's long. I didn't expect her to check out for that long.
Yeah.
It is interesting that in the episode presumably right before they're going to meet, is when she starts to swing so far away from
Yeah.
him. Whereas
Yeah.
before they were on sort of parallel journeys, and now
Exactly.
she's taken all these paths that they're showing are fairly different than his personality.
Yeah, I hope it works out.
Well,
I think
and it
it
just
will.
shows how manipulative the hive is too, because they were
Yeah.
able to use that loneliness to manipulate Carol to bring her around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and this is actually why I'm not sure that I 100% would have that moment of them at the Darien Gap saying, no, here's a list of all the reasons that things could go wrong. I'm not sure that I would completely buy it because I would assume they were trying to manipulate me.
Oh, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
Which I'm wondering if that's part of it for him too, but then again, we've seen that they do that.
Well, they can't lie though. We do know they can't.
He doesn't know that, right?
She told him that. She did tell him that in the video.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
that's
I mean,
right.
that doesn't mean he needs to trust it. He doesn't know her
That's
either.
true. Yeah.
Right.
He doesn't know them as well as we do at this point, so it's hard to say.
The whole thing would just feel so bizarre and uncomfortable that I think I wouldn't be processing information that they were giving me the way that I would just one of you telling me that, you know?
Right.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah.
I like before like that laundry list of things, they're like, the forecast is not conducive to hiking. And then,
Yeah.
And then they say we don't mean to harp on hydration.
Harp, yeah. That's my favorite word this episode. Last episode was druthers, but harp
Yeah.
is so good. And they're aware they're harping on it. Too funny. Okay. Yeah, so he tosses his lit cigar onto his beloved gas-drenched MG after his mic drop lines to the hive. I was sad to see the cassette tapes go, but the hive watches as he sets off through the water on his continued journey. And the 3 sentences he practices the whole way through the gap, I truly did not think I could love him anymore. And there I was, falling deeper. My name is Manusos Oviedo. I am not one of them. I wish to save the world. I'm dead. He just keeps repeating it.
I wish to save the world is what got me. I was like, oh,
He just keeps repeating it
over
as he
and
gets
over.
more and more like exhausted and dehydrated. Machetes his way through the jungle. He just keeps saying, I wish to save the world. And
I'm telling you, if anything bad happens to him,
something bad is about to happen to him.
I know. But
Everybody on this Zoom is
everybody on the Zoom is
gonna die.
That reminds me, my brother sent me this video yesterday. The Eagles played terribly this week. That's football for anyone not a fan. And there's like a Ring camera video of a cop showing up to somebody's house. And he's like, look, somebody reported your Facebook post. And we just want to, and he's like, I'm fine. I'm not going to kill myself. It's just that Jalen Hurts threw 3 interceptions. Like, still like really dramatic about it. But I guess he said something to the effect of, I'm going to kill myself on Facebook over this. So the cops came and you're like, we know that you're not really going to kill yourself, but we have to like.
Yeah, so we need a disclaimer on this podcast that we're all okay.
Yeah, everybody's fine.
And we like memes.
We like memes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
So he's macheting his way through the jungle, building fires, fording creeks, and avoiding the deadly spiky trees until he stumbles. This was awful to watch.
Mm.
Ripping himself off of them. Oh.
The fall and when he's holding the vine, I was just like,
I know. Yeah.
So I was curious because to me the spikes were so uniform, it almost looked man-made. So I Googled it. I Googled palm trees with spiky trunk.
Yeah.
Mhm. It looks like something from another planet. Like that is a
Yeah.
WTF when I saw that.
Yeah.
Nails sticking out of it.
And they did it look like nails. That's why I was like, it looks man-made. It's real. It's called the devil's palm. It has a scientific name I don't remember, but it said if you've hit those, it's like falling onto nails, basically.
Well, that's what it looked like. Oh, God.
And it said they're not toxic, but it can cause infection because of bacteria, which is exactly what the hive told him.
Mhm.
Right.
They said a name for that palm, I think, too, in that scene, but I don't remember what they said. And it was something in Spanish, too.
Yeah. It had a bunch of names, like the list I looked at, but I thought Devil's Palm was very apt because it looked terrifying.
Yeah, if I encountered that in the world without having prior knowledge of it, I'd just be like, where am I? What is happening?
What happened? But that's why the Darien Gap is so dangerous. It's got all that crazy wildlife, rainforest stuff in it.
It is wild to me that through all of the Americas, this gap is the 66-mile stretch is the only place there's no road. Like, I cannot believe that society has not forced a road through there, but
a bridge, something.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
It's pretty crazy. I wonder what the story is on that. Like, if there's a reason behind it.
I think it's like legal and environmental.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, bureaucratic reasons, but also environmental.
Right. Makes sense.
But like usually there's a solution, and for this to be the one stretch of road that you can't go through the Americas on, it's wild.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also awful to watch was the machete in the fire, trying to clean his wounds.
Or cauterize it, I guess.
Cauterize, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
With his belt in his mouth, like, so he would scream. Yeah. Ugh.
He's so badass, though.
He is so badass. I know. It wasn't enough, though, as he walks the next day and you see his blood-soaked shirt and failing body. Poor guy. He was so incredible every step of the way, but he finally collapses and watches the sky as a helicopter flies in to save him. How are they watching him? I feel like we should have seen drones following him or something. This waving at the sky whenever you need us thing doesn't make sense to me unless you're in the Truman Show.
Wasn't there a comment early on from Zosha or from somebody that they could see you from really high up, but you're not going to be able to see the drones because they're too high?
Oh, okay.
She said the name of it. It was some sort of military drone. I don't remember, but she did say that.
I do remember that. Okay. Thank you.
And I guess they've probably been tailing him the whole time, too, to make sure.
Yeah.
Right. They're very worried about him.
Checking on him. And when he fell into the devil's palm thing, just going back to that, his acting, his expression and everything.
So good.
So perfect. Because you could just see that, like, oh, shit, on his face of what had just happened. You know, it's the pain of it, but it's also just the, I can't believe this happened kind of look.
Yeah.
I love that.
Carlos Manuel Vesca. Incredible actor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot to carry that big chunk of a show by yourself, and that is in essence what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's what Ray does too. That they're both fantastic at keeping you engaged, even though they are the only person doing anything on screen.
Yeah.
You know, not even, I mean, they're talking, but like he's talking to himself. He's not having a conversation.
Right. And it's making me love him more every word he says to himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're both fantastic at what they do with this show.
Anyway, I'm glad they are watching, and we see a rescuer coming down for him before his vision fades away. I just wanted to make a note. He never did wave at the sky, just for the record. He never gave up.
He did that?
He covered his eyes from like wind and sun, I think, to see.
Yeah. I wondered if they were not, in quotes, allowed to interfere unless he waved.
And they could count
and
that.
they were just counting that. Yeah. But I don't know. It might just be because at a certain point, they're going to interfere because your life's in danger.
They don't want him to die, yeah.
Right.
I do worry, though, now that he's in their care about the whole stem cell. I'm assuming they wouldn't take it from him, but if they're, like, in his body fixing him, I don't know.
You know,
I still don't think they'd take it.
I read something about the last episode that I thought was interesting, because you know how in the John Cena video he talked about they could only take advantage of stuff that was considered a windfall. So like if an apple fell off a tree, they could use it.
Yeah.
So I think that's how they're gonna backdoor their way into Carol, because they're gonna say your egg was a windfall. It separated your body.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't think they'll be able to take anything from his body without consent. You know.
I think you're right. Yeah. Hopefully.
On the last podcast, Aubrey brought up the egg thing, and I hadn't thought of it yet.
Yeah.
And it was obviously probably what's going to happen, since they said that in a previous, like, you know, kind of random line to drop about your egg freezing earlier in the show.
Yeah.
makes so much sense. But I was surprised in this episode that so much time has passed and nothing has happened
Nothing
along
had come with it. Yeah.
that we know of. Nothing has happened along those lines. But I'm
Yeah,
still sure
because
that's what they're going to do.
Helen knew about it, so they would know.
Right.
Yeah. Even if Helen didn't know about it, they'd have all the clinic workers, people who
Right.
worked at the, they would still know anyway. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. This month time jump, though, insane. That was a shock to me that they jumped that far forward.
Right. And I thought when they did that and you saw the building, I thought it was going to be the hospital and they were
Me
actually
too.
going to be, like, she was going to come see him at the hospital. But it's not. She's just hitting golf balls into an office building, which does seem like a fun pastime if you're
Yeah.
good enough at golf to break the windows. But I was.
Well, she should be
Yeah.
leaving dollar bills at each one of those windowsills. We've learned something from Manusos.
Also, did you guys notice the name on her little burn CD? It said Booyah Mix.
Yeah.
Or Booyah CD. I thought that was so funny. That is such a relic of early 2000s.
Yeah.
I do kind of wonder if part of the reason why she hasn't, because I kept thinking, why has she not thought about the eggs after all this time either? She's had a lot of time to
Yeah.
think about this, but I think she's just completely checked out
I
for
think so,
most of
too.
this episode.
Yeah.
Well, and you really see that in the next scene with when we go back to the fireworks. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's basically where we are anyway. The final firework reveals Carol is perhaps even suicidal to an extent. It falls over and it's pointed at her. She doesn't bother to move, narrowly misses her, instead setting fire to her neighbor's house, which she eventually gets up to put out.
That made me think, okay, so that kind of explains her behavior over this whole episode, because she has had that suicidal, almost like she wasn't aware of it, but it's making her act like she just doesn't care about anything. And then in that moment, you're kind of thinking, okay, well, maybe that's why she's let go of any hope,
Right.
really.
Right. Yeah.
That shot of the fireworks shooting past her head
Oh, yeah.
was absolutely insane. It was so cool. I would love to know like a behind the scenes on how they did that shot with her,
Totally.
with that firework whizzing by, because that was just, I've never seen a shot like that on TV. It was,
It's like inches away from her face.
yeah.
Next day, she heads to the home improvement center. I was assuming to fix the damage from the fire, but nope, she gets a giant bucket of paint and a roller. We don't see the message she wrote until a minute later, after we've watched her pondering her belladonna painting, when she hears a car pull up and heads outside. And who is it but her old friend Zoja? Ray's great at withholding how she's feeling about that until the very last minute, as she runs the last few steps and then embraces Zoja, like desperately clinging on and sobbing. She's been so lonely. And then we see the message, come back, which is what Kumba told her they wanted to do in the last episode, but that time she responded with fuck 'em. My final note is just, if we don't see Carol and Manusos together until season 2, I will be a very unhappy human being.
I think he's going to show up soon-ish, and I think he's going to show up expecting the Carol that, told him to go fuck his mother, and the Carol on the tape that was, talking about how they're eating people and they're so bad. And she has just gotten so lonely and is so desperate for human connection that she is now not like on the side of the hive, but not fully, obviously, clearly, because I do hope when he shows up, she'll be ready to try and save humanity again.
Yeah, I think it might take a minute to I mean, she's never going to be pro hive. Let's not go back to how it was, but she might just be tired and been through a lot, and
she's accepting the companionship that she can get right now.
Right.
Yeah. Which again is just so human to just want to have somebody. Like, I think about, you've ever been alone for a couple days while somebody goes on a trip. It's fun in the beginning and you're like, this is great, I have all my alone time. But by the end, you're like, it's nice to
have people around.
Yeah. So, obviously that's a very small scale compared to her just endless, vast loneliness that she must be experiencing. So I can't even imagine it, like feeling it on a small scale like that. I can't even imagine feeling it orders of magnitude larger than that.
10 episodes in this? Are we
9?
There's
just
only
2
left?
more.
Oh my god.
That makes me feel like we're gonna have them together in the next one, because it's the penultimate episode, and then they have to have a finale, so I feel like they're gonna meet next time. But we felt like that for like 3 or 4 episodes in a row.
I think it's all coming together now. I do. Yeah.
I don't think this will happen, but it is possible they don't meet until like the end of the finale, and that will make me very sad. Yeah,
could be.
But
surely they'll give them one episode together, I would think, at least.
I
would hope so. This is actually kind of cool. So, they built that neighborhood specifically for this show, right? And last week, somebody found it on Google Earth and was looking at images, and that comeback
Oh yeah, was there?
was on Google Earth, so people were like, "Oh, clearly she wants them to come back." But we didn't have there was no frame of reference for like when it was going to
Right.
happen. But it was really cool to like see it the way
That's
they I guess
funny.
I guess the way the Hive would have seen it on
Yeah.
Google Earth.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's like the kind of spoiler that actually is kind of great.
Yeah.
Somebody found a spoiler on actual Google Earth.
On
Google
Google Earth.
Earth, right?
Yeah.
That's genius. Good work, fellow human.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I'm just excited for what is to come.
I know. It's been a
Yeah.
while since I've actually been like very excited for next episode of something. Like very excited.
I'm hoping they airlift Manusos to Albuquerque to
I
care for him.
know. I
Yeah.
hope so too. It would be counterintuitive to their goals to do so, but I hope they do.
Yeah. Because they know that's what he wants.
Right. And they have to do what they want. Yeah. Good. Exciting. All right. I think that's a wrap on our discussion of episode 7 of Pluribus. Come back next week for episode 8. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.